a place I've never been before. It's called Everett Lake. Actually, we put in at Burntside a couple of hours ago, and paddled up through Burntside, up through the Dead River into the Twin Lakes, and then we portaged into Everett Lake right here. And it's not a terrible, it was about a 2-hour paddle, but to get out it'll even be shorter because there's a different way to get on out of here. But I did find the only campsite on this lake. Now, it's not the Boundary Waters, but it's right next to the Boundary Waters, and you get all the wilderness experience, except you may see or hear an airplane, or you may see somebody bring a boat in here. But as of today, I saw paddling in, I saw one boat out on Burntside and 2 canoes coming up through Twin Lake, and then nothing here today at Everett Lake. So I'm going to go about getting this camp set up, and we will do a little exploring here in just a couple of minutes. So we have our campsite all set up. I put a tarp up because it's supposed to rain when I'm packing up early Sunday morning. So I figured I'd set the tarp up to give me a little bit of shelter so I can pack stuff up. I don't mind paddling out in the rain, but I don't want to get all my sleeping bags and everything wet. But yeah, I think we got a pretty decent little site here. There's the bed on the inside with my little tent and my thermarest cot. And yeah, we should be all ready to go. So now we're going to walk over just a few steps and find the fire grate, which is, voila, right there. Fire grate and the rest of my garbage, which I'm going to start putting together. And then, oh, look at this. Something for Ryan. There you go, Ryan. There's a little buddy for you. Big old daddy long legs. And then yeah, I'm going to go out and paddle for a while. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I got lots of time to do lots of things. So we'll set her up and be back in a bit. All right. So right now we're just paddling across Everett Lake. Going by the campsite, I'm going to portage into North Twin Lake here. But yeah, this is just a wilderness experience. I don't know if you can see my tent up in there, but there it is as we float along by. Gonna do some fishing down off the rocks here this evening after supper. Now we want to find the portage, and I think we're headed right towards it. I don't know if you can see my pants, but I went right up to my crotch in mud when I stepped out, and I don't know if I'd have stopped. But yeah, you can see the mess that I got inside the canoe here even. But this portage is much nicer, so we'll get our way in, and then we'll throw the canoe on our head and continue on. All right, here we are at the entrance into Twin Lakes, and we're going to paddle to Burntside. So we'll kind of show some different sights along the way here. But behind me you can see the other side of the portage. Got a fire going. Got more fishing line out. Yeah, just sitting there. I have to go recast it. Trying to build a fire here. And we are just about set to make some supper tonight. I have pork wild rice casserole. Can't see my bobber. Wow, look at that monster. Just a little sunny. So we're having pork wild rice casserole for supper tonight. Got a fire, and we have JD Greer going on. It's a great night. All right, we're gonna take a walk down by the lake. I got a bunch of deer swimming. I heard them and I peeked my head around. I could see them, so we're gonna see if we can get a picture or some video of them. So let's see what happens. Well, we're up. I didn't expect the camera to turn on. Nice day this morning. Today we're going to probably go look at some pictographs and then do some fishing. Right now we're going to go get ready for breakfast. I went to get my food barrel. I don't know if you can see them, but I found blueberries. So I'm gonna have blueberries. Nummy. Taster's choice. Not really at Starbucks. Bushcraft cooking. We are having French toast bagels today. And to make French toast bagels in the wilderness, you need French toast bagels. That's it, really. I mean, you want butter, right? I did, before I left, grab a little bit of this syrup. Oops, so I'm gonna have to move my spoon is actually there. No, you probably can't see again. Oh, well. So what we do is this is how difficult this is. Where's my match? Right here. We take our bagel. Does anybody know why my bagels do not get cut all the way through? It's a disaster. All right, we take our bagel, we take a little butter.
The Nation of Islam to the fellowship of the Lord Jesus Christ and a new creation through the blood and the power of his resurrection. I want you, if you would, at all of our different campuses, would you stand to your feet right now? I want us to pray together for Edward. We're going to pray together for Edward.
Here we are. French toast bagel.
Father, thank you for
We're now at South Hegman Lake. We're going to paddle into North Hegman. We are going to do a 5-rod portage. We're going to see some pictographs, and then we're going to go explore some of the other lakes here in the boundary waters. So I entered at entry point 77. I don't know, it's noon. I'll probably be here for a couple of hours, and if I get done in time, I'm going to go hit another entry point. You can do a day permit into any boundary waters entry point, so you don't have to like apply for it, because it's not an overnight paddle. They only allow so many overnight paddles, but day permits are free, and they're good any place, and as many as you want. We have hit a portage. I have a bunch of yucks behind me that are over their permit numbers and everything, so I'm trying to hurry the best I can. Because I don't want these idiots to be catching up to me. Alright, we're just going to do an up and over here. This is a good way to break an ankle. Not the best way to do a portage, but there. Alright. Holy crap, it's an armada. This is literally called Watch Darren Go 100 miles an hour. They have 4 canoes. I counted 12 people. You can have 4 canoes, but you can never have more than 9. So, yeah. All right. So this is only a 5-rod portage. It's a short one. Just goes between North and South Hegman. Boats in the water. Here's the backpack. Well, fast is the paddle. And let's get out of here. What you don't want is that pack sitting standing up there, because that's how you tip canoes. Well, that's an interesting rock. Huh. All right, let's go. And we are off.
All right, we're going about it. Burntside.
So yeah, we're just gonna go for a little paddle and we will come back, because literally I am not going to deal with that crowd. And technically when you're in the boundary waters, you're actually, so if you have other groups around you, you need to let people pass, because the rules are you're not supposed to have more than 4 canoes together, or 9 people, and that includes everybody. So when you get to a portage, that's why you have to wait, because of all the people. So my battery's going to run out pretty soon, and then I will switch batteries. You can see that. All right, so we are now going to portage, and we are done with the wilderness. I have very little battery left, so we're just going to do what we can do. And if it runs out, it runs out, and I can't really mess around a lot while I'm portaging, so we'll just see what happens. But this is Hegman Lake. Interesting point, I've paddled to all of the campsites here today, and there was nobody on any of them. So I don't know what that means. Well, it means there's nobody on any of them, I guess. But when they talk about crowding and permits and permit not available and whatnot, it's just odd. I think I saw 2 cars in the parking lot, actually. So I don't know if there's just a lot of permits that aren't being used or what the deal is. But it was the aluminum highway of day trippers today. Holy smokes. Piece of me thinks that they should have to watch the videos too before they come out for the day, but that's just me being a cranky old man. So, all right, we're gonna load this sucker up and get back to our other campsite. For our last night here, we're gonna go back and go to bed, basically. Get up in the morning, go see Oppenheimer, So what we're doing is putting the solo portage yoke on. Looks like it's pretty good. Then we just take this and it flips over our heads and off we go. For those of you that are like, I could never portage a canoe, well, now you're going to. And you could say you did it, even if it was on video. Quite honestly, this portage is probably one of the easiest portages I've ever seen. The one going into Bald Eagle is all right. Obviously, there isn't one like into Lake One or Brule. Those are places you just put your canoe in the water and your paddle in. This one is 80 rods, so it's about a quarter of a mile. I like portaging if you do it slowly and not just to get to the next lake as fast as you possibly can, because it's beautiful. So again, here we are at, this is South Hegman. Look at the size of the white pines here. I don't know if you really can appreciate how big they are as we go walking by them. Now I got a real easy portage today because I don't have any gear. Because I'm not camping out here, it was just a day trip. So it's fairly easy. The last time we were out here, we were packed for 5 days and we wanted a single portage when we came because we had that one at Trease, which is 480 rods through the swamp, and we didn't want to have to do it twice. So we packed everything, threw canoes on with our backpacks. Okay, we didn't. Ryan and Tommy did. And yeah, that's a huge tree right there. Probably can't see it. There's a couple of really big ones right here as we're walking up. This woods, they did a prescribed burn a number of years ago. But kind of after that blowdown that's caused all kinds of the fires, the Pagami fire and all the other ones that blow down back in, I think it was it 99 or 2010, whatever, 2001. I think the Pagami fire was in like 2011. So what they did is came out here, the Forest Service, and just some of these areas that they were able to get to that were close enough, they did prescribed burns. This would not be fun if it was slippery and wet. Now this entry point here, from what I hear on like the Boundary Waters podcasts and whatnot, lots of people come out to Hegman for winter camping. I think because it's a fairly easy, as you can see, it's like a road. Many portages are like a cattle trail or less, full of rocks and stumps, but this is like, because this gets so much use of people coming out for day trips, it's pretty widely used. Anyhow, there, now I don't know if you could see this tree, but holy smokes. Just take a look. Here's my hand. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's gigantic. Anyway, so people come out here in the winter because they can mush dogs through here, or they can ski or snowshoe, and it's a straight shot out to the lake. Campsite is pretty dang close. I know in the winter they don't camp in the campsites. They prefer to camp on the water once it's ice, because it lessens the impact You know, in the summer you can see where people have walked and whatnot, but in the winter they can't around those campsites. So what they don't want to do is trample new earth. I mean, that's all part of leave no trace, right? You know, you can, I've always said leave no trace to me means, yes, we know man was here. So leave no trace means man was here, but leave no trace that I was here. So if you stay on a path like this, obviously there's a trace, right? Man has been here. If I walk off the path and tear down a bunch of trees and roots and build a new path, then you can tell I was here. You know, it's pretty much the same thing with anything out in the wilderness. People are always like, well, leave no trace means nothing because, you know, people leave traces all the time. Well, that's true. People leave trace, but don't you personally leave the trace. I don't know if that makes sense. It does to me. It's my environmentalist talking. I have no idea if this battery actually is still working. So the Forest Service burned 74 acres here in 1996. There's a little sign there. Anyway, I don't know if the battery's working. It looks like there's still a red dot on here, but who knows? But look at this, 2 cars other than mine in this parking lot. It's amazing that there's just nobody here. So that means there's campsites all around, and there's another, like a little bass lake or something it's called. That's got to be almost wide open too. There's basically only 2 overnight paddlers here. Huh. And this car was here, this one, when I got here this morning. So that's not a todayer. So there's obviously one that hasn't been used. All right, I'm going to hopefully turn this off and get this canoe up where it belongs. All right. Thank you.